everybody, it's Jason DeVries here from Untitled Chapter. I just thought I'd post a quick video to demonstrate some of the exercises I do to help redevelop the motor function and strengthen my left hand for my fretting hand to play guitar after having a stroke that affected my left side back in August of 2018. So I've been at it, and it's probably about 9 months now since the stroke. So here's some of the exercises I do in order to get things functioning again. So one of the first things I do is my left hand is I'm always moving it about or just doing things and just trying to reestablish the motor function. Some of it's there. It just doesn't move as fast as it used to. So I've been lucky that way. Anyways, I do a lot of moving with my hand, doing the pinching with this, moving between each finger, sometimes changing it up, 1, 3, and 2, and 4. And recently I've started doing this flicking to try and strengthen the extensors. So I'll put my thumb in there and I'll flick. And I'll just keep rotating through my fingers and flick around. And that's one of the first exercises I do is just moving. Just basically just keep things moving. Okay, so another thing I do is I will get an elastic band. And I will take it onto my left hand between my thumb, and I'll wrap it around a couple of times. Try and get it on there. So I get between my thumb and my fingers, and I just kind of work it out to get a bit of tension. So you get some decent tension on there, and just opening and closing my hand, and just try and work it that way to try and develop some of the muscles up here, up in the forearm. Try and get things going again, working it. So that's another exercise I'd use is the elastic band. Comes in handy. Okay, so another exercise I come up with, well I didn't come up with, I've been given is getting a gripper. This one's adjustable, so if you can't handle tension or whatever, you can adjust it to a lighter tension so you can squeeze. And I just hold my arm out and I squeeze it. This one I think goes up to 90 pounds. So I can't really squeeze it when I turn this way. I do a little bit, but it's really pulling. Anyways. So having a gripper here and just doing some squeezing, like reps of 5 or 10, or you do 10 or 15, and do about 3 sets of those. And that's pretty good. It'll help strengthen the forearm. Next up, I have the pink Putty. This is what I started on. I moved up to the green, so it's a little bit harder to work with. I haven't really used the pink stuff in a little while. So if you get some of this stuff here, it really works your hand out. So that's basically all this big blob of putty. I just put it in my hand and I squeeze and squeeze. Mold it around in my hand. And really just gripping it and grabbing it and just squeezing it. And then sometimes what my therapist taught me or showed me was to actually make like a donut out of it. And then you can put your fingers in between and then you just kind of expand it with your fingers. It's almost kind of like the elastic band where you're extending it out. So you just keep doing that and you stretch and you work it. So eventually this putty becomes a little bit easier to work with. And then I upgraded to the green putty. So we got the green putty. Like I said, it's a little bit heavier, not heavier, more dense to work with. It's a little harder to squeeze, so which is good because it helps continue building things up. So basically doing the same thing, just grabbing it, gripping it, squeezing it, molding it, doing whatever, just to keep your fingers moving. And the one I really try and work sometimes is these 2 fingers because I find these fingers are the most, I don't know if they're the most effective. The pinky has always been the weakest finger kind of for me, so I've been trying to get that pinky development back. So that's one thing I do. Well, not one thing. One of the many things I do. So hopefully that works for you too. Therapy. Okay, so guitar-wise, a lot of the exercises I do, I got some short videos here. I can show you demos of the stuff I've been doing. I don't have a practice regimen per se. I just kind of pick up the guitar. I kind of have one around me when I can. I have one down by the couch and one sitting up here in my room. Well, more than one sitting up in my room here, but there's a couple. So I have one that's always kind of handy. I can just pick it up. I can start noodling and just trying to work things out on my own. So it's always good to have a guitar nearby if you just want to pick it up and just take a few minutes. And so that's how I started when I was a kid. Was only like 15, 20 minutes a day on the guitar. I'd have it sitting there. If I was on the couch watching TV, I'd just pick up the guitar and noodle on it. And that's all how it started. And that's all you really need to do if you really want to do it or you get back to it, is just have a guitar handy and pick it up. If it's there, just pick it up and noodle with it for 15, 20 minutes. And that's all you need to do. Or you can just do as much as you can. So yeah, the exercises I do are a chromatic exercise. So just going frets with the first finger, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and just trying to get the fingers moving individually and just go up the scale. And that pinky can be really tough. And then when you get to the top, you just go backwards. And I'm down, when I'm playing this, I down pick all the time now. I'm not doing my alternate picking. I'm just making sure I get the notes clean. One of the other exercises I do, or one of the big things, was chords, because I used to be able to do chords really easily. So I make sure I can get my chords and I put my fingers down. And I make sure all the notes ring out and there's nothing's being blocked. All the strings ring out. So just slowly changing chords and just going over your chords and making sure you got them all in first position. Making sure they all ring out nicely. And then trying to build up speed and just changing. Seeing if I can go faster to get from chord to chord. Another exercise I do is the minor pentatonic scale, just to try and get that pinky in there, because the pinky for me, it's really the tough one. So I got the pinky, well, you got your minor pentatonic, so you got your, see, I even have trouble skipping strings. So there's an A minor pentatonic. So I do the minor pentatonic scale. And sometimes I try and find stuff that I used to do that was fairly simple before, like little guitar riffs, like find the little riffs, I'll do them. And I just try and run up and down that riff and try and clean up, make it smoother and better to play. And that's pretty much all I do, is just working on getting my fingers moving again, working on my chords, the minor pentatonic scale. I do a major scale every now and then, but it's not quite there yet, so I'm not going to demo that. Anyways, I hope a lot of this stuff helps you out and gets you on your way. Good luck.